Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Comedy Cellar Nightly Show for September 19th, 2023. My name is Dave Juska. I'm here, as always, with Mike Suarez. That's right. And we are here to bring you this lovely show we bring you weekly to promote the Comedy Cellar and all its greatness. If you were in New York City today, in the West Village, you would be able to see Tom Papa live, or as they call it, Come to Papa, which I've been on multiple times, although since COVID, he's only asked me to come on once. So what's that all about? But that's all right. He's still a friend of the show and a friend in friend. As a matter of fact, the last time he was in town, he texted me on a Friday and said, "Do you want to come see Shucked with me?" Shucked, Mike. Shucked is a Broadway show. And I said, although I was trying to do the Muppets Take Manhattan, although a show would be a nice way to spend the time. I don't know if anybody remembers that except me. But and I would like to go to a show with Tom, as gay as it is. I just didn't want to see Shuck. Plus, I had plans that day. Maybe I would have gone. Anyway, that next week I asked him if he actually wanted to come to Back to the Future, but he was away. So I could return the favor. Then he finally went to see Shucked, and he goes, "It was all right," because that's the way it seems like it is. Shucked, I don't even know what it's about. I know it's about corn.
Yeah, it's about corn. That's all I know.
That's all I know about. But yeah,
it's about a war.
Oh, is it? Oh, I don't know. Hi, Aaron. Hi,
Yeah, the guy comes back from Vietnam. He starts a farm.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm so not interested in that then. No, I think it's a
I
black.
made all that up. I don't want you to think.
Although they haven't really done I don't think they've done a play about a black guy that comes back from Vietnam. It seems like it's always a white guy, doesn't it? I don't know. But it's a musical, so I don't know. Just wasn't interested in seeing it. And normally I like seeing kind of everything, but then sometimes stuff just looks good and not so good. And I've heard other people tell me it's all right. So I haven't heard any greatness about it. So we'll see.
It's like corn. It's all right.
Yeah, it's like corn. Although really good, Kentucky Fried Chicken used to have good corn on the cob, and now they don't make it anymore. I think you have to go to Popeyes. I don't know.
I don't think Popeyes has corn either.
Oh, you're right. It was another place, like another barbecue place that had it by me. I don't know why I don't make corn more often. It sure is good if you can get it right. As long as you put enough butter on it. It's in War Games, Mike, where the father is buttering his corn with a piece of bread. He put butter on the bread, and then that's how he's buttering the corn. It's brilliant. War Games. I thought for some reason it was Back to the Future because the dad looks similar. But he does. I don't know. The parents are similar in the sense that they're just not great.
Buttering his corn with bread.
And it's such a brilliant idea. Because, it's very difficult to get butter on corn. I usually put it on the plate and let it melt a bit and have the things and twirl it around. But many times, what?
They have like those brushes.
Yeah. That could be cool, I guess. Still, butter's always so stiff. So it's like very difficult.
You got to heat it first. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would be the key. And then you got to salt it properly. It's a big to-do. Then the problem is it's so delicious. I want to have another one. But 2 usually gives me diarrhea. I'm not going to lie to you. I think. We know what. Anyway.
2 corns will thrill you.
Ange is crazy. Ange went to the UFO meeting last week of the government. Well, you have to when you live in Phoenix. That's the only thing you can do. Anyway, in Las Vegas this week, Brian Scott McFadden, our good friend, will be in Vegas this week. He's the best. He's amazing. If you don't know him, you should get to know him. I don't know if he'll ever have a special or anything, but if you see him live, he's so good. The Mexico City hearing. Mexico City. You traveled all the way to New Mexico. Is that where Mexico City? No,
regular Mexico
City in Mexico. You went to Mexico?
Yeah.
To go to a UFO hearing?
Those 2 cardboard babies were shown.
Oh, I know. I've got pictures of those. I got them just for Ange. Later on in the slide section. I know Marcy's away, and I know Catalina's away today. So looks like it's just us 5 folks. which is fine with me. I have to sneeze, I think. I'm sorry, I got excited.
She watched it live.
Oh, and it was coinciding with our show. Well, how dare you? I mean, we finally get a couple of good guests on, and nobody wants to show up. I mean, it's funny that we have plenty. Everybody shows up all summer long, and then finally in September, thank you, nobody shows up anymore. I don't know what's happening. This should have happened, 2 years ago, Mike. I can't believe people still join us in the chat. It's so nice. Yeah, exactly. Where's Aunt Judy? I was just talking about her before I got on the thing. I don't know. She always has computer problems, right? Sorry. Mike, why don't we show, because our guest is coming on at 6:15, hopefully, if he remembers. Actually, maybe I should leave my phone. No, I won't. I'll be all right. Let's show what we did football-wise last week. Let's show the top 5, Mike.
1 second.
If you have that.
All right.
Yeah. That's what happened last week, football-wise. We all lost the Eagles by a point, which is so frustrating that those stupid last-minute touchdowns that happened to me yesterday with the goddamn Panthers. The Ravens seemed pretty easy. Something is wrong in Cincinnati. The Lions, I cannot believe they didn't win or cover. And the Jaguars Kansas City game, what the hell was that all about? I have no idea. And the Jets were a disaster as expected, unfortunately. But Sarah did the best, as did you guys, by getting 2. Mike and I stink.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we just stink. Now, here, put up the full slate of what did I call it? Week 2, the players. Yeah. So right now, Nick is doing great. He went 11-5 this week. We went 9-7, even though we didn't pick the top 5 correctly. And Marcy she did the worst, and she's doing horribly.
I'm only one behind Nick on the overall.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we did good this week. Last week was a disaster, so we're just keeping track. There's Aunt Judy. Okay, let's go to the photos. So I finally I don't get the daily newspaper anymore. I just get it if I go to the diner during the day, sometimes on Wednesdays. And I got but I did get the paper this week, and I took this off the internet, but I have the headline of my thing. The Rodgers error, 8:17 to 8:28 p.m. on September 11th, 2023. That's hilarious. That's how long he was a Jet for in the Rodgers era. It's so messed up. I can't handle it. I love that cover, and I hate that cover at the same time. It's so awful. Meanwhile, I guess you all heard about picture number 2, Lauren Boebert, or whatever her name is. This is the actual minute where I think she's touching her boyfriend's penis. It's hard to see, but and of course in a production of Beetlejuice, because that is one sexy show. I've seen it, and I got all sexed up when I see. I mean, that's what's so weird about it. If you go to the next one, see, that's her vaping, and then she said, "I didn't vape. It was the smoke machine in the show." And then they have a picture of her actually vaping when the pregnant woman behind her said, "Would you mind please not doing that in here?" And she's like, "Go fuck yourself." Boy, this woman, you want to hate her, but it's everything she was doing was so sexy. It's difficult to hate her, but obviously we hate everything about her. And let's look at the next one. I'll tell you in a second, right? So that's her being escorted out, which is so embarrassing. I can't believe that's what is she? She's not a senator, right? Is she a senator?
No, I think she's
like a congresswoman or something, right? Yeah. Because she just looks like one of the girls I might go out with or something. The poor guy, where you just don't know what to do when a girl's acting crazy. And then go to the next one. Here she's
he's probably a piece of shit too.
Probably, I don't know. I'm thinking of myself in that situation, but there she is. I mean, she looks amazing from the back, and then she's probably like,
I don't know. I don't think she looks that great from the back, honestly.
I think that's pretty cool. I mean, everything about her is kind of hot, and then, but in just her evilness, and then she's walking out. And she's like, "Well, can I just at least please get a T-shirt?" But then, when she walked out in the next picture, there she is complaining about, and they wouldn't even let me get a T-shirt. I mean, that's what she's complaining. Oh, she Googled my net worth. Good one, Edge. It's down today, by the way. But it's so great. If you can't take a congresswoman to show, if you listen to my podcast, Just Got in the City, all I ever talk about is I cannot find a girl to go out with that's not going to embarrass me or whatever it is. And it's like, then you finally take like a congresswoman or somebody reputable and you still get thrown out. What does that say? I don't know. There's no way to win. Yeah. I mean, God, it seems like if I was taking her out, I could see it, but like, could you not vape in here? It's rude. It's a little disrespectful. Fuck you. Can you just see her saying like, fuck you? And then, even being all over me, I'd be completely embarrassed.
Really, you think? Really? I mean, I'm just so surprised by the way she acts so calm and demure during the Congress, if she would act like this in public.
I know. It's the same thing. It's awful.
Is that a pistol in your pocket?
Yeah,
you want to lobby for my vote?
Oh, she's the one that heckled the State of the Union. Oh boy, Aaron, I didn't realize. Yeah. Wow, what an asshole! What a complete asshole. Yeah, you're right. It's just such a strange story. Our guest isn't here yet, is he?
No, not yet.
Okay. And the next picture, does anybody know who this is?
No, I feel like I should.
Well,
it's
apparently,
a great shirt, though.
Do what?
It's a great shirt.
Yeah, that's Bill Murray, right?
It's Bill Murray from Life Aquatic on Steve Austin's head. Is
that what it is? Oh,
yeah.
Well, that is Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman's kid. And it's funny because I always thought that those kids were brought back to the prop department at Warner Brothers, and I guess they're still alive. And her name is Bella Cruz Kidman. So I think they were both adopted because, Tom Cruise is everything about him is questionable, but he sure does make good movies. God damn. But yeah, that's their kid. She finally I think they're adopted, Aaron. But what happened when they broke up? Nobody knows. They've never been seen, which is good, I guess. And then I don't know. Doesn't Nicole Kidman have kids also with Keith Urban too?
Probably. I'll find out.
What a mess. That's what she paid the price for being a movie star, Nicole Kidman. You remember that, kids.
She's done great.
Yeah, because she, kind of made a deal with the devil. We don't know why they were married. I don't think it was for love. You know what I'm talking about. Who's that other one? The one who's in Batman.
Oh, Gyllenhaal? Or Katie?
Katie Holmes.
Yeah.
Let's ask her what the story is. At least she's taking care of that kid. I mean, if you want to be single and have a kid, I would have a kid with Tom Cruise. But let's not pretend it's anything else. But having a kid with Tom Cruise isn't a horrible plan.
Yeah, they adopted a daughter and a son, her and Tom Cruise.
Right. They adopted.
And
then when they broke up, listen, I guess they're always going to be provided for. So, I mean, if anybody's going to adopt, it should be very rich people.
Right.
I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, she attempted an ectopic pregnancy with Tom Cruise, but it didn't work.
What does that mean?
That's when. Oh, it was a complication of a pregnancy in which the embryo attaches outside the uterus. So she had an issue. Yeah. Basically, she had a pregnancy didn't work out. Oh. It was not actually a miscarriage. Because that's what they have a weird. I don't know. That's when her Wikipedia. It's like a miscarriage, but it's not. It's still just as heartbreaking.
Okay. So is Greg here?
Not yet.
I'm only asking because
Why are we looking at Nicole Kidman's adopted daughter, by the way?
I don't know. I'm sure you can take it off.
Because her Stone Cold Steve Zissou shirt.
I don't know. I just wasn't sure whether to text him or not.
Oh no, that's fine. I'll let you know when he's here.
I just want to remind him.
I can't see. We can't find if they have kids with Keith Urban or not. But there we go. Is there another photo?
What?
Next picture?
No, I don't think there is another one.
You're right.
Yeah, that's why I was getting confused. Yeah. Well, I'm just writing him. I'm sorry. That's rude. I just want to
no
see if he's coming on. All right. I usually turn my phone off during this, but I just want to make sure. Maybe I should have reminded him. I'm sure this isn't on his schedule to be like, oh, man, I don't want to forget that. Because we could just start stuff without just wait. But anyway, Greg Fitzsimmons is coming on today, which is great. And he's going to make the picks with us today. He's our guest picker today. So we're just waiting on him. And as it is exactly 6:15, I like to go in order. I don't want to keep any of the guests waiting. I think you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And yes, all right, Aunt Judy went to the big city for Rosh Hashanah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Mike, did you have a good Rosh Hashanah?
Yeah, I guess so.
What'd you do this weekend?
I had some shows in Austin. Hey, he's here.
Oh, okay then. Great.
Bring him
in? Yeah. Hi.
What's happening?
What's up? I realized I was like, maybe I should have reminded him today. I forgot. Like, I'm sure I wasn't on your mind all day today.
No, it actually worked out perfectly. I'm having my 3:15 cup of coffee.
I'm having my 6:15 cup of coffee. Hey
now.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us. Greg Fitzsimmons here doing our guest picking this evening. Greg will be at the Grand Comedy Club in Escondido, California. Where is that?
It's in Nicaragua.
No, it's not.
It's in it's about a half hour north of San Diego.
Oh, cool. That sounds cool. That sounds nice. I've been to San Diego maybe once. That seems like a nice place to live.
Yeah, my niece just moved there. It's the kind of place you visit once and then you want to immediately move there. It's like marriage, You go like, it's going to be perfect. And then after a couple of years, you're like, why here?
Right. A week late's talking about Sunday Papers, which is your podcast. By the way, Greg, you're not going to believe this. For the first time, and I only like to do it during football season. There's the mug, which you can purchase on his website. I bought the Daily News because I wanted to read the comics. There are no more comics.
No,
yeah,
really?
And I tried to look it up online. When did this stop? I tried to get in contact with them. I couldn't get into contact. They were the only ones left that had the Sunday paper or the Sunday comics. And that's the only reason I bought the paper. And they charged $3.50. And the newspaper was not like, it was so lame. Barely even any sports. It was awful.
It used to be this thick, and there was an entire section of comics. And it was I think it's kind of what got me into reading as a kid. Is I loved Peanuts. I got into Far Side when I got a little bit older, and I got all the comic books, the bound books.
Me too.
It's a great way to get kids interested. But the crazy thing is, and the reason why we do it on the podcast is it draws kids in. And then you read Hagar the Horrible, and almost every week they're running out of the castle with a bunch of gold and a candelabra, and then a woman over their shoulder.
Right. And that's the gag, right?
They're abducting and raping. Are you kidding me?
Right. Forget about that.
Oh, my God.
Those comics, and we talk about them all the time, they are just absolutely horrible. I mean, maybe there's a couple of exceptions, but mostly they're awful. But yeah, it brings me back to being a kid. The Star Ledger in New Jersey is so far the last place I know that has a lot of them.
Really?
But it's hard for me to get. If they print them on Thursdays when I'm in New Jersey, then I can get them. Otherwise, I'm really pissed. I was like really looking forward to reading the comics for some reason today. Sometimes when I'm down, I lose money. I like reading the comics after it.
Well, it's the treat. It's usually the last section, and it's because you've worked, you've done your work, you've read the front page, you've read the op-eds, you've read the business, and then you go dessert.
Yeah,
I get to look at Blondie. I get to look at Blondie's hot calves sticking out from that green velour skirt that she wears. And the dress. I mean, she's so beautiful.
Yeah, she's still really hot. And we'll never understood the Dagwood, the why. What's so great about Dagwood? Everything about him is stupid.
It's stupid. He's out of shape. He's lazy. He's like, can't ever get a raise. He doesn't do shit around the house.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you've got this buxom, intelligent woman who has her own catering company, and he won't get up and buy her a present on Mother's Day. It's like a big task for him. He should be buying her presents every single day.
Yeah, and he uses all of her catering food to make his huge sandwiches. And then the way he sleeps on the couch is awkward too, with his ass sticking out. That's not good.
Yeah, with the blue dog always sitting right underneath his ass.
So in LA, they still have comics?
I don't know. I actually don't get the LA Times. I get the New York Times, and they do not have comics.
No, they do not have comics. No. Well, I don't want to keep you, although I will just say one other thing about where you're going to be on the Northeast again in October, which is a perfect time to be playing the Northeast, right? All that.
Nice. I'll be up in New England. I'm going to Manchester, New Hampshire, and Nashua, and Shirley, Mass. Have you ever heard of this town?
Nope.
I'm going to it, and then Foxborough on a Sunday, which will be death because they're all at the football game.
Yeah. Why? Oh, Sunday night.
Yeah.
And is it a Patriots game that day?
No.
Oh, well, that's something. I mean, there's something. I don't know why you'd want to play on a Sunday. I get confused why people even do podcasts on Sundays. They're always like, can you do my podcast Sunday? I'm like, during football season?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
I know.
I'll never understand. Whatever. Anyway, I don't want to keep you. I'm going to go to the sharing the screen mic so we can make the picks. I am sharing right now. Just 5 picks today. You can see them. Yes, Greg?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I will start Thursday night. These are the most interesting matchups, I think. San Francisco against the Giants. It's interesting because, the Giants came back. They really suck. Can San Francisco cover a 10.5 spread? That's a really tough one. You know what? I really think they might blow out the Giants the way the Cowboys did, especially without Saquon Barkley. Mike, you need
40-0, right?
Yeah. Mike, you go first. I can't decide.
I'm going to go San Francisco.
You're taking the points. What about you, Greg?
Well, I'm in a betting pool that there's 200 people, and I won it last year.
Wow.
And my cardinal rule is you never bet for or against the Jets and Giants because they are fickle. They will beat teams they have no right beating, and then they will take a powder on a week that they're favored. So I hate to even touch this bet, but I got to go San Francisco. I just think Purdy. Is that the quarterback's name?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's a force. He's a force to be reckoned with. I'm going to go San Francisco.
Yeah, the Giants just beat up on the Cardinals and they stink. I'm going to take San Francisco too. I wasn't sure. What's everybody saying in the chat room, Mike?
Overall, San Francisco.
All right. We're all going with the big boys, expecting a blowout. Speaking of which, I mean, I'm giving the Jets 2 more chances this week against the Patriots. Perhaps a team, I'm going to take it. And next week, we'll put them in the top 5 again against the fucking Chiefs. If they win this week, that would be interesting. And then you have a matchup that's on Sunday Night Football next week. But we all knew it's just, I saw on your podcast, you were talking about Aaron Rodgers too. It's disappointing for the entire league. Everybody wanted to see what was going to happen.
Yeah, but you know what? He's an election denier. So
is that true?
That guy. I think he eventually came around and said that Trump lost, but during the crucial first weeks, he was an election denier. So I'm taking the Patriots.
Oh, good. That's interesting. I'm glad you told me that now. I would have been upset if he was still playing for the Jets because I was in love with him in Hard Knocks. Oh my God, Greg, he that was the best season of Hard Knocks since the last Jets one with Rex Ryan.
I watched 2 episodes, and when they didn't bring up vaccinations or the election, I said, I'm out. This is a fluff piece. It was such a blowjob for Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, it was absolutely. But the best was, Greg, that when they were talking about how, that it was very important, if you want to be a New York Jet, you have to be familiar with Leslie Nielsen. Otherwise, you cannot play for this team, which was awesome. And all they did was talk about the Back to the Future musical, which, by the way, is amazing.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you think?
I was going to go Patriots.
You son of a bitch. What is everybody else saying?
They're going Jets.
Well,
really?
That's stupid. Are you sure?
Wow.
Listen, you have to be an idiot to go with the Jets. I can't help myself, but this is an interesting one. These teams are 2-0. No, the Bills are 1-1, but we know what happened that first day. And Washington is 2-0. I think I'm going to take the Commanders plus the point, 6.5.
You're insane. You're insane.
I don't know. Maybe they can keep it close. So
Yeah.
you're going to take the Bills to blow them out?
The Bills are going to destroy them, yes.
Now I want to change my bet. Mike?
I was going Bills.
What is the chat room saying? They haven't bet yet, so we'll wait.
Not yet.
And this one, Monday night, 2 Monday night games again. We have the 2-0 Eagles against the 2-0 Bucks and Baker Mayfield. See, this is one I think maybe the Eagles could finally. You know what? I'm going to take the Eagles. I thought I was going to take the Bucks. We're going to take the Eagles to win by at least 7. Greg, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the Eagles is a good bet. Even though they're on the road and Florida could be hot, I'm still going to take the Eagles.
You don't think the Bucks will be like exposed, kind of in a way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike, what do you think?
I'm going to go with the Bucks. They're going to lose, but I think they're going to lose by 3.
All right. And I see an Eagles down there. Anything else?
And Bills.
Eagles and Bills. Bills probably the right choice. And then finally, I mean, we usually pick this. We have a friend in the chat room usually who's from, Cincinnati. She loves Cincinnati. But now Joe Burrow, you don't even know if he's going to play. The Rams aren't playing horribly. This is a really tough one. Greg, you want to go first?
Well, obviously I'm in LA, so I have to favor them, but there's also this guy, Nakua, this wide receiver, is a phenom. And I think he's the kind of guy that decides games. So I'm going to go with the Rams.
Mike?
I was going with the Rams as well.
Yeah, I guess it all depends on Joe. I'm going to take the Rams too. And we'll take the Bengals for everybody in the chat room and Marcy. So there it is. Week 3 already. Or is
Wait, put it back up again. I just want to see something.
Oh, hold on. Oops.
Oops. You never want to hear oops on a podcast.
Oopsie daisy.
It means somebody shit their pants. Thank God it's on a Zoom.
Okay, wait. I
just wanted to see how much we disagreed. I think we're opposite on every pick.
I think you might be right. I got it. Here we go. Sharing, Mike.
All right.
I took the 49ers, but only on your thing.
When we got the Eagles. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We're the same in a lot of them. Okay.
Yeah, but only because you had, besides the Eagles, I just took your advice, and I probably would have changed the Washington one if I hadn't picked it first.
Yeah.
You're very convincing. You're very charming, Greg.
It's gotten me a long way. Very little talent, a lot of charm.
No, that's untrue. That's completely untrue. But it's so nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming in for a couple of minutes, doing this awesome thing.
Anytime. I love to see you.
Yeah, I like seeing you too. And I thought maybe I'm going out to California in October, but it looks like you'll be on the East Coast, unfortunately.
Oh, you coming out for the big party?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
all right.
hoping I was going to see you there. That's where we usually hang out.
I know. Yeah. Well, say hello to everybody for me and give me a good report. I want to get all the gossip the day after.
Oh, I'll give you the gossip. There'll be gossip.
See if Bill Maher shows up. See if he's got the balls.
That's good. Exactly. Yeah. Ooh. Good gossip. Yeah.
That's what we should do one week is do the spreadsheet, but it's all what guests are going to show up to the party.
Oh, that's brilliant. I'm totally into that. So yes, we'll talk later. Greg will be at the Escondido, California, at the Grand Comedy Club. That's this weekend.
That's this weekend.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. None of that
Friday,
Sunday
Saturday.
Friday, Saturday. Right, that's Friday, Saturday, and then it'll be on the East Coast where you can catch him in New Hampshire and Massachusetts coming in October. Greg, thank you so much.
Thanks, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Greg Fitzsimmons, everybody. Nice.
Love it. What party?
Hey, Scotty K. A private one, a good one, a really good one. And no, it's big celebrity filled party. So super fun. Anywho, that was fun, but that's usually where I see him. So very disappointing. So we could spend some more time together. But isn't that nice when him and other people Sarah last week can come on for a couple minutes, make picks with us. I mean, that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, yo. Hey, what's up? That's the way I talk now. I'm just saying. Can I be canceled for just that? No.
I can't.
I'll be canceled for something. I mean, there's so much stuff I could be canceled for. That's why I'm glad Anonymous isn't here. In fact, it has been rather pleasant without her. Am I wrong? Is it just me? Anyway, speaking of, are you taking Alon? No, I'm not taking Alon. Alon's an idiot. Let me explain something to you about Alon. No, I wanted to take Alon on the road with me to something else, and then he's going to Mexico. This kid's traveling all over the place. God, I hate that kid. But I was talking to my friend Chris Murphy yesterday. I was like, I don't know why I like Alon so much. I just do. There's nothing I can do about it. First day I saw him, I'm like, I want to be friends with that kid. I don't know why.
Nothing I can do about it.
There's something. It's weird. He's not that fun, but he's so adorable. I just like him. What is it about him, Mike?
He's nice.
He is nice. He's nice.
He goes along with crazy riff premises like the person whose soul inhabits a Billy Bass. So.
What?
I've already told it to you, and the chat hates it. But we came up with a movie idea where a man is his soul inhabits one of those singing wallfish.
Oh, that's right. You did tell me about that.
And his friend has to,
please
get it powered. But that's anyway. It's a
it's
fun
funny.
Story. You know the one we came up with last time?
Yeah, I do remember.
What?
I went out to get wings last weekend, which I told you about with the Jets thing and everything. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because my friend Chris and he's like, hey, I just want it to be you and me. And I'm like, well, what about Alon's wife? Because we like her because she eats wings. Alon doesn't because he keeps kosher. So he doesn't. We're like, well, I'm like, Alon, can we ask your wife? Is that cool? But I don't think he wanted us to. She's cool. And she loves hot wings. So,
hot wings aren't kosher?
I don't know. It could be the way they're fried. That's the problem sometimes, is that whatever they use to fry them in, or he just doesn't like hot wings. I don't know.
Maybe.
There's some form of thing about being kosher and hot wings that doesn't seem to work for him. So anyway, why don't we move on to the slides? Oh, we forgot to play the music, Mike, before the football thing.
Oh.
Well, but we can play the music for the slides, though.
Yep.
That's not it.
Which one's the slide music?
I don't know. It's a video.
Oh, duh. Sorry.
Yeah. What's funny, Ange, is that halal actually is kosher because I think the Muslims keep a kosher, diet as the same as the Jews, or it's quite similar. Okay, I'm going to share my screen, whatever we have today, and I am sharing it. Mike, you can see this. What's that guy's name? Kevin McCarthy?
Sure.
Yeah, he's up there saying, let's impeach Biden. And I got to say, what the fuck? I mean, how many people are we just going to impeach every president now? Is that going to be the plan? The other side's going to just impeach? I mean, this is awful. Everything that's happening is bad. And I would never want to impeach. I didn't want to impeach Trump until, it got out of control, but it just let him ride out his time. And I mean, why impeach him now? Let him ride out his time and vote him out.
And he's about to get impeached by God.
So. What?
He's about to get impeached by God. So.
By God?
He's not going to last much longer. I'm just saying he's an old man. Oh,
I see what you're saying because he's old. Yeah, I know. It's really bad that he's running again. He shouldn't run again. Then they should. No. That's the worst part is they don't have anyone else to run, which is why this all happened in the first place. They can't find one person. Meanwhile, can you blame him for wanting to impeach? Well, why is the guy go to Alaska on September 11th? Alaska? That's where he goes to see the troops in Alaska, the farthest away from New York City you could be. Is it necessary to visit troops in Alaska on September 11th? I don't get it. Do you, Mike?
Well, I don't really mind it. I think it's fine.
But why you could visit troops?
Since all my New York friends sent me that Hulk Hogan 2 Towers meme, I don't really I think New Yorkers are pretty much over 9/11 now.
Oh no, New Yorkers are completely over it. And I don't care that he wasn't there, but I'm just saying, why choose Alaska on September 11th? It's just odd, that's all. And of course, if you had come to New York on September 11th, you would have seen this goddamn rainbow, which you would think good things are going to happen, and then Aaron Rodgers breaks his whatever. That is a true rainbow over the city because it was lightning and thundering. It was unbelievable. Aaron says he was flying back from India for a summit, so I guess there's something that. Ooh, and Judy just cooked corn. Mike, remember we were just talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Mitt Romney, and he's retiring for some reason. And if he's retiring, and he's probably a lot younger than our actual president, I don't know.
Well, he's retiring because he thinks he's too old now. Isn't that what he said?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny?
That he's reasonable.
He's trying to send a message. Yeah, like Mitch McConnell. Oh my God.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell sent a message too by accident. So.
2 strokes, and he won't even admit it. It's just horrible. At least this guy, and he's a Republican. At least he's being normal. It's cool. This girl's so hot. I wonder what kind of questions she's asking. And here's a good team up. Here's a new Marvel team up everybody's looking forward to. This is
it's the next Harold and Kumar.
Yeah, this is the worst picture ever for things to come.
Would you watch that, Dave? These two having Harold and Kumar style adventures?
I absolutely would. I absolutely would. Of course I would.
Because Kim loves hamburgers and Vladimir.
Oh yeah, no, these guys would be hilarious together.
Why is it so small? Why does it got to be so small?
I don't know. They're
all
probably
questions.
Fun guys if they were just in a different country somewhere.
I don't know if either one of these guys could be considered fun. I think Vladimir Putin is like, if he wasn't the leader, he'd have a job where he euthanizes animals and enjoys it.
Oh, like Mr. Burns.
Yeah, he's got that same personality.
Well, isn't there something wrong with him, and that's why he's being like this lately? That everybody thinks he's losing it. Well, they're both a little attached, I guess.
Yeah.
And this is Elon Musk. Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg were asked to go to Washington to have this big AI Insight Forum where they're so worried about AI. Is that a thing, Mike? Do we need to be worried about it?
I don't know how much we have to be worried about it besides creatively.
It's almost like the 2000 thing again, though. We're worried about all the airplanes falling out of the sky.
I'll tell you this: no AI is going to come up with our Mrs. Doubtfire fire idea that we did. So, or the Billy Bass idea. So we're still years ahead of that AI.
Oh yeah,
we're on this
podcast.
For that.
See, this is you know what? When I see this, Maybe I want him to be president again. I can't decide. He's at a frat party at Iowa State. You gotta love it. The funny thing is, I mean, he's such a piece of shit, but if you were there at the frat and he was doing this, I got to say, I would be like, oh my God, this is awesome. What are you going to do? Fucking president, whoever he is, comes to your house and starts flipping burgers. That's kind of awesome, no matter who it is. It's weird. I don't know. Is it just me?
He's like, okay, now where do I put it? He doesn't understand where it goes next.
Well, the best part is this is in Ames, Iowa. Then he went to the Iowa State-Iowa game. Went to Ames, right, Y2K. That's what I was thinking. Went to Ames, Iowa. And what's the first thing you thought of, Mike?
Corn.
In Ames, Iowa? Ames?
I don't know.
You weren't thinking of Willie Ames?
Oh, no. I was on the Iowa part first.
Yeah, no, I'm all about, I hear Ames. I'm thinking of Willie Ames. I'm thinking of Willie Ames and Zapped, the Scott Playo Willie Williams classic. And of course, I want to show this in class because I was talking to them about boobs. Well, I was talking to them how everything in the 80s had to have boobs and destruction. And they were fascinated. They're like, I'm like, we're trying to change it, but that was they're like, is that why it was fun to grow up in the 80s, Professor? And I'm like, yes. And I said, there's a woman who we've talked about in this class named Amy Heckerling, who directed and wrote Clueless and directed Fast Times at Ridgemont High. She directed a classic comedy and tried to change the perception of women in a movie in 1982. However, what is the most iconic scene of that movie, Mike?
Oh, Long Duck Tong.
No, Phoebe Cates. Boobs.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I thought you went on the other movie. Sorry.
This was amazing because Scott Baio could will, girls' tops to come off. And
to be fair, I think people think, what do you think of first? Judge Reinhold getting caught jerking off or Phoebe Cates' boobs?
Phoebe Cates every time.
Okay.
Yeah, I try not to think of the other part because it's so.
I'm not saying you want to, but I'm just saying, like, what?
I do not think about. I only think of Phoebe Cates' boobs,
and then you stop.
Yeah,
it doesn't permeate in there. I think the whole scene, as like it's a big scene as a whole. Without one, you don't have the other. So
true as poo. And this is a guy. The Yankees hit this guy from Milwaukee. His name is Willie Adames, and I also thought about Willie Ames again. I couldn't get him off my mind.
We'll go back to him.
Another team up with Scott Baio and Charles in Charge.
Well, he wasn't paying attention. He was taking a nap there.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, it doesn't even look like. I'm like, oh, did that hurt? It's funny in slow motion. It doesn't look like it hurts at all. Like, oh, come on. But you know how fast that thing's coming at 100 miles an hour. At least it hit him in the perfect place. That's where you want to get hit.
Yeah.
For
sure. I don't know
right?
the way they're playing this season.
But his name is Ames or Adams. I just can't stop thinking of Willie Ames. There's Nicole Eggert. Boy, she was pretty back then. We all knew she was going to grow up hot, and we were right.
What happened to the other girl?
She grew up hot too.
Sorry,
Josie something.
You skipped over my joke.
What?
You went to the next side, and I said, "Oh, there she is."
Right there. That's what happened. Yeah, no, that's what Ange wanted to see. I didn't know about this. This is a non-human remains on the UFO hearings on Tuesday that Ange was watching on TV. I mean, if that's a real thing, is it real?
At no point during the thing I was reading on Snopes, they never said they're actually aliens.
Well, how can it be? Why would an alien be structured exactly like us with the bones and everything besides the face?
Yeah.
I don't know. And it looks just like this alien.
Their verbiage was they're not of human origin.
Yeah, that's what they say, right.
And apparently one of them is like a carved llama skull or something.
This is what it reminded me of. It looks just like this. You know what this is, right?
He brings us love.
I bring you love. It's Mr. Burns, everybody. That was the big secret in the legendary X-Files Simpsons one. I bring you love.
Look to the skis.
And what was it? A throat scraping and And Mr. Burt cheats death every week at this time. And they caught that fugitive guy from Pennsylvania. And
what was he wanted for again?
Escaping from prison. Oh, he killed his girlfriend.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And it's just kind of funny. Like he really was pretty smart, I guess. He eluded them for a long time, which is pretty cool. But it would have been funnier if he wore that Eagles jersey and he was in a different state, like New York or something. And that's how he fucked up, like you're in Dallas. We don't wear Philadelphia Eagles jerseys here, boy. But I don't know.
It is a thing where every Philadelphia fan sees the same picture and goes, "Go Birds!"
Well, yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't a Jets jersey. That's
Oh wow.
This happened in London. This is at the London, what is it, museum or something? It's a huge painting of not the Last Supper, but the one where Jesus comes back. But I love this because this is the actual painting. So now you can get a feeling of how huge this is the guy's hand. Well, you can't see my cursor, but on the very right is the guy's hand. I mean, I don't know. That's on the, I guess, museum front. This is apparently when Jesus was resurrected and met with a couple.
So this is the actual painting. They painted it on the wall outside as well, like a replica.
What?
Sorry, they repainted it on the outside of the museum on the wall.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right, and then it must be huge because it's just so, it's just right here. Well, you can't see my cursor, but
she looks like we can. She looks like Tiny Elvis.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right there. Yeah, it's pretty funny. A little favorite, but she's really pretty too. But it's just kind of funny to be taking a picture where you're putting on lipstick just in front of a big hand. I don't know. And this is it's really weird. It's the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery. Like they I guess they have a bunch of horses in London, and they're rehearsing a musical number with the horses. And I still don't understand how that can be, unless, this is when Mr. Ed dressed up as Elvis and he sang that Johnny Cash song. What's it called? The Prison Blues one?
Yeah, Folsom.
Yeah. He was on TV singing the Johnny Cash song. So unless that's their plan, I just don't understand.
That's great.
Isn't that great?
Francis the Talking Mule. What is it?
Yeah, Francis the Talking. Well, this is Mr. Ed.
Right. So he's no Francis the Talking Mule.
And speaking of which,
wait, real quick, isn't that weird that there was a whole genre of talking equine entertainment? And now,
during that time, that and Gilligan's Island and the Flying Nun, I don't know, everybody was just clearly high. There's just no other explanation.
Right, but just the idea of talking horses alone had its own section at what would have been Blockbuster at the time.
Yeah, well, I would have liked that. I like talking animals.
But not anymore. I guess that'll never happen again without it being ironic.
I need to bring it back. Like, I would like for these sheep to talk. I would like to hear what they're saying. This is in Idaho. Oh, I mean, that's a lot of sheep. I don't know what their plan is, whether it's wool or eating them. It's sad and beautiful at the same time. I like the ones that always look like they know they're getting their pictures taken. Well, I said to Madge, I said, you don't even know what your problem is. But then this is a bunch of cattle, a Bavarian cattle in Germany. And these cattle are now coming back into Germany, but they spent the summer grazing in like the Alps. And I'm like, geez, they had a better summer than I did. It's completely unacceptable. And apparently this is a tradition where they walk them down. Now, this is a parade I can understand. This is a parade I might get into. I'm like, all right, now that's a funny reason to be having to cross the street in a different way. I don't know. Meanwhile, maybe they should be able to graze all summer, since I don't think it's going to end well for them. And speaking of Animals having a good summer. This is the dog surfathon at the dog beach in California, of course. You know, we love that. There's nothing funnier than a dog surfing. I have got to find out when the next dog surfing contest is, and I got to be out there. I've got to be out there. I don't think there's anything funnier. There's never going to be a talking horse, but this is as close as I can come to fun. And this, you remember this from, of course, Free Willy, which somebody actually tried to recreate by making an orca kite, which is way awesome. I would love to fly that kite. I'd love to fly any kite. I'd love to be in a place where I could fly a kite. I haven't flown a kite in years because I can't apparently do it in New York. I wonder if you could do it in Central Park. I guess you could, right? There's enough room there.
Yeah, one of the big fields. He's got to get a running start. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to try that this year. I'm going to get a kite. Probably get one on Amazon. Just got to wait for a nice windy day. I have to wait for a nice blustery day. And of course, it is Fashion Week's always somewhere on the planet. This week I think this week it was in New York, I think. There wasn't a lot of news about it, or maybe I just didn't catch it. This is in Beijing. I like it because this is what a Fashion Week is supposed to look like. You know, pretty cool and regular fashion. And even this is all in Beijing. It's not an attractive, outfit, but it's okay. And then, of course, they got weird again by the satellite headdress. They couldn't like, now we gotta go a little crazy.
That's just where the Wi-Fi comes from.
Right. No, get out there. Nobody can get the Wi-Fi. And this was Fashion Week in the Vatican, where they that's what I want it to be.
Yeah, he looks like Droopy Dog right there.
He certainly does. Everybody's having a good time around them, and colors, and all these people are happy. And then there's this guy. He's the goddamn Pope. I don't know. That's a good imitation. Oh, that's good. This was in Hong Kong. There was a super typhoon, apparently, and everything got flooded because that's what's happening all over the world now. And this was something they're draining it. I don't know how they're doing this, but why don't they do that everywhere? That looks like an extremely successful drain, right?
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's made that way or whether they made it, but why don't they do it everywhere else?
Well, usually it's like that because an existing drain gets clogged, and that guy has to go out there and unclog it.
Well,
and that's why it becomes such a great.
That looks awesome. Meanwhile, this is a flood in Greece. As you can see, this has got to be terrifying. Like, you only have a little patch left before it's going to overtake you. It looks exciting from up top, but yipes. And this was after a flood in Libya. So It's been flooding everywhere, obviously, like all over the world. And then it's just kind of funny when you see somebody just like, I love water. I don't know. It's so funny that water is good and bad.
That woman is dead.
Yeah, no, she's just having a good time.
Of natural causes. She didn't.
Look at that beautiful. I've never swam in water like that before. I've never been to like an island or anything.
In water with the dead lady in it.
I wouldn't have a problem with that. No, she looks happy. It's just that's near Caracas.
Oh, wow.
It's beautiful, right? And this was for Catalina today, but she's not with us today. She's seeing a concert, I think. This is some sort of festival that's happening in Santiago, ironically, right across the street from the protests that are happening, where Chile, I guess they're so stupid. The guy had a Molotov cocktail blow up in his hand while he was about to throw it. What an idiot. So I don't know what's going on there. They're celebrating, and then we were supposed to get news from Catalina, and then they're protesting. So, although they're doing that everywhere here too, so I thought she'd give us news. This is a Muslim bride mass wedding. Oh, I'm sure that's going to be just perfect, and they're going to make some children that are going to be so delightful. Meanwhile, I don't know why this kid is I don't know why she's invited, like why it's only one kid, when clearly she should be at this, which I just bet on last week and lost a fortune.
Wait, what?
The Citrington Cup pedal car race in Chichester, England, Mike. I bet on this every year, and one of those kids always screws me.
Verbiage.
You're saying I did it wrong?
I would use another way of phrasing that.
Oh, well, you know what I'm saying. People get it. I'm not saying that they screw me literally, just financially.
There we go.
I always bet on this young lady from the 80s, and she always loses. I'm talking about Lydia. This is like she's
the oldest one, and she's obviously her car's not going to go as fast. She's too big. Her knees are going to keep hitting the top.
This looks hilarious. That little hat? I wonder if they do break on it or bet on it. I would totally bet on this.
I think that kid with the little hat. He's the one I think would want to win.
This guy right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you got to wear that hat. But the thing, what I would do is I'd pull the Joe Pesci and Easy Money and go on there and start beating the kid up if he was not going fast enough. And this was happening in New York City this week or around the area. This was the U.S. Open trophy engraving. You never see them put it. It's that idiot Djokovic. They're putting his name on it again. That guy's probably like, oh, how do you spell that? It's funny to watch them do it. It always seems like it comes engraved, but somebody's got to do it. And this was happening across the the Hudson River, rather, in Newark, New Jersey. Justin Timberlake was obviously angry that Taylor Swift is so popular, and he's like, oh God, I'm getting back together with NSYNC, and she's just collecting another award. Look how angry he is. But this was in Newark, New Jersey. And this is Shakira crowd surfing. She's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Crowd surfing in Newark. The arena my cousin owns. But it's weird when you see all these celebrities come to Newark. I mean, that's good for him that he worked it out. I don't know. Newark. You got to be kidding. That's the problem. You can't really go out after. It's not a fun town. Trust me. And while that was going on, there was a bunch of nerds getting fascinated by the new iPhone 15. Jesus Christ, who gives a shit? And finally, what they should be concentrating on, of course, is the nudist cross-country race in Madrid. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, what's up, fellas? I can't even fathom running naked. Balls flying all over the place and everything. This sounds horrible.
It sounds very uncomfortable physically.
Yes, it does. I mean, you got to just be real secure in your manliness to do that. Oh my goodness. Catalina's going to be mad that she missed the naked cross-country running. Oh, Mike. What a day. What a great show. I'm so glad Greg Fitzsimmons was here. It was so much fun. So nice to see everybody again. We're going to be virtual again next week as Mike will be in Vegas, if you happen to be out there, in Skankfest. He's got lots of spots. So where would people be able to see that? Do you have a web thing, or we just see it on Instagram?
It's on Instagram at Mike V. Suarez. This week I'll be in San Antonio. I have a show at Upstage and at Laugh Out Loud tomorrow night. And then another show on Thursday at Laugh Out Loud. So check those out.
Terrific. As for me, I don't have any live shows, but of course we have the Billy Joel podcast. This episode 2 of the Nylon Curtain, which is always good because you get to hear our friend Paul Lauren play some tunes. We should get somebody like that back too, so we can play some songs. We haven't done that in a long time, right?
Yeah.
And of course, Just Gal in the City, the podcast, where this week it was my sister and my niece are on it because we were home for the holidays. Next week we'll have just finished Yom Kippur, so those of you who celebrate, have an easy fast. Otherwise, we'll see you next Tuesday, the last Tuesday in September already. But right here virtually, and the Comedy Cellar nightly show. And remember, if you are in town, come by the Comedy Cellar. Always a great show. Mike, thanks for your amazing producing. You guys in the chat room, I'll see you all next week. Have a great, fantastic, beautiful fall week, everybody. We'll see you next time.